Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It's Pi Day, Thursday, March 14th, 2019. I think the number of the day today will be 29. 29, I think that number is going to be real big today because we have 29 date numerology and Pi has Gematria 29. We'll cover today's games, but let's start with review. Hopefully yesterday you went to college basketball and followed the 19 patterns because they hit overwhelmingly. Starting to wonder what's going on with the NHL. We've had the NHL, what's been just so solid, all of a sudden isn't solid at all anymore. So kind of miffed at that right now. It's kind of like what happened with the NBA over a month ago. But yesterday in the NBA, the game that I liked, the game of the day to me was the Thunder to beat the Nets. That did happen. I noticed the Thunder only scored 19 points in the first quarter on the 19 date numerology. So maybe gave people a little scare there. But the reason we like the Thunder game above all games is because it had the opportunity at the 23 and 9 thing. We see how often that hits. 23, the ninth prime number. Also, Nets equals 23. Plus, we pointed out 23 and 9 is a bit like 239, the 52nd prime number, and Oklahoma City's 52. So that was the pick. The safest pick to me in the NBA yesterday. The other games were all pretty much stay away games. The Heat had a little bit better riddle than the Pistons, but there was enough of a riddle for the Pistons to make it somewhat concerning. Heat ended up blowing out the Pistons. This Warriors-Rockets game, my initial thought was Houston, Texas, 46. Warriors pick up the 46th win in Houston, Texas after not getting in Phoenix. But once I saw that the Rockets were going for their 10th straight win on a 55 date numerology in light of understanding how strong the relationship is with 55 and 10, I thought the Rockets would pick up that 10th straight win. Instead, they got their 10th home loss. So, again, I explained why this one was tight because there was a narrative for the Warriors. I mean, it made sense for them to get the 46th win in Houston, Texas, 46. But after seeing the 10th straight win in the 55 date, I did favor the Rockets. So close game, 2-point game. I think the Warriors were, what, a 2.5-point favorite yesterday, 3.5-point. So I don't think they quite covered the spread, but I'm not shocked about that game. And then Jazz Suns, to me, that was another stay away game. Jazz would probably win, but who knows? The Suns are a wild card right now. So, been a lot of close reads in the NBA, and the only pick I really felt good about yesterday was the Thunder. So, glad that worked out. In the NHL, my balls were shattered. I'm just wondering what's going on in the NHL right now. One question is, okay, we're nearing the end of the NHL season. Are the riddles that we've been following that have been so consistent for so long, or are they now off the table? Is it like on some different riddle system as the season winds down? Or is it that they're on to us and they're fucking with us? Because these games are absolute shockers to me. Again, and 2 days ago, there were 6 really good picks on the table. Only 3 of them hit, and they weren't the 3 that, well, one of them was good, but the other 2 were like, well, no surprises there. The 3 that didn't hit out of those 6 were all good reads based on what we've been doing, and they were the ones that would have been the better payouts. I like how I went into wait-and-see mode with the NBA. I'm almost ready to go there with the NHL right now because there's a lot of college basketball games on the table, and college basketball was good yesterday. But, yeah, I mean, I can't make sense of it. Blackhawks 91, they should have got the 91st points. It would set them up to get their 93rd points against the Philadelphia Flyers. Riddles like that have been money in the bank. And then right here, Oilers could have got their 71st points over the Devils. Devils 71. They could have picked up their 37th loss against Edmonton. Edmonton 37. I mean, riddles like that have been as close to locks as you can get. And then neither of these games hit. And that means that both of these games were huge upsets. Because anyway, the Canucks game made a bit of sense, though. Again, they got the 67th points on the 19-date numerology, 67 the 19th prime. And then their next opponent has the 69 Gematria. But something's up. I mean, what has been so solid and consistent in the NHL just in the last 3 or 4 days, all of a sudden has been very inconsistent. I mean, that just doesn't make sense. So something's going on. Something is up. But what is still consistent is college basketball and date numerology. And let's just go back and look at yesterday's games. Yesterday, 19 was the number. Division I games. Every team, nearly every game where the 19 was on the board. Some games it could have gone either way, so those were the games to stay away from. But nearly every game where the 19 could go one direction, it did. You know, Clemson 19th, stayed at 19 wins. Well, when you're staying on the number, it's never as consistent. But Clemson did stay on 19. But for every game where a team could go into that 19, it nearly hit. George Washington got the big upset. Well, not a big upset, two low teams, but notice the 9-23 thing. It's just that 9-23 thing. It's always right there. Boise State got the win, stayed at 19 losses, but Colorado State also came in with 19, so that wasn't the one. Idaho State picked up their 19th loss. Richmond. Well, this was a game where they were both at 19 too, so that wasn't the one either. Let's see. Colorado came in with 19. They did get off it. They were playing the very lowly California team. Norfolk State, same type of thing. They came in with 19. Again, when you come in with the number, it's never as consistent, especially when you're playing these teams that have almost 3 times as many losses as wins. Lamar came in with 19. They did get off it, but hold on. Let's get to the games where teams could go to 19. They're here. Notre Dame picked up their 19th loss. Louisville came in with 19, but Notre Dame picked up the 19. Both of these teams had 19s on the board. Louisiana Tech came in with the 19. UAB got their 19th win. North Carolina A&T got their 19th win. This is one of the games where a team could have got 19 but didn't. So one of the few. They could have got their 19th loss. They did not. So that game went against the 19 trend. Here's another 9-23, just how much you see it. Northwestern got the 19th loss. Pittsburgh got the 19th loss. Syracuse came in with 19 wins. But again, if a team's already on it, it's not as strong that they'll stay there. The team that can go into that, get the 19th win or 19 loss, or whatever the number is that corresponds with the date numerology, that's always the stronger riddle. So Florida International got the 19th win. West Virginia, in this game, they both stayed at 19. They both stayed on the 19 here. So that was probably the biggest upset. Rice got the 19th loss. Marshall got the 19th win. And then Oregon could have stayed on 19. So again, the reason I just want to review that is because just to emphasize what I've been saying. When you come in with the number, it's never as like, you know, it's a crapshoot if you're going to stay on that number. But going in, if you have an opportunity to go into that number, that's very likely. Like Rice and Marshall. Marshall came in with 18 wins. Rice came in with 18 losses. They both go into the 19. So in all but one game where a team could go into 19, unless they already came in with the number, it happened. So again, that's why college basketball has been awesome. When you can find a day with a bunch of games where a bunch of teams have an opportunity at that number, it is high percentage stakes. So I hope you guys took advantage of that yesterday. And yeah, I'm disappointed though right now with the NHL because the NHL have been so good until recent days. When the new guy got here that said he hates the NHL, whatever that new guy showed up, it's like, I don't know if he brought a jinx to us or what, but the NHL, man, it had been money in the bank until recently. Okay, let me scan over this chat real quick. Somebody said, have we been looking at the refs? That is something we could do. Adam says he went 5-0 in the NBA last night. Congrats to you, man. Good work. Okay, let's get to today's games. I think 29 is going to be a huge number again today. The reason why is because it's Pi Day. Pi equals 29. We have a life lesson number of 29. 29 is also the 10th prime number. The date numerology that's really going to matter, 56, 29, 20. And for the series records, perhaps 36. Whoops. I don't know why that's at 6th prime. I probably forgot to delete that from yesterday. It's the 14th, and it's also the 73rd day of the year. That's the 21st prime number. So anyway, let's go through this. 29, 20. These are probably the most likely numbers we're going to see here for the date numerology. Right away with the Thunder game, there's a potential 20 on the board. The Thunder could get their 20th win. If they did, they would stay at 26 losses. Pacers is 26. What's up, caller?
Hey, Zach, what's going on?
Hey, man.
Hey, real quick, when you was talking about the college basketball games, you know, the teams that was on 18 that had a chance to go to 19.
Right.
I noticed even in college football, it's more likely that that riddle would hit if it's like if they got 18 wins and going into to get to and have a chance to get the 19th win.
Right.
It has more chance. It's more likely to hit than let's say if a team got 18 losses and then picking up the 19th loss. So I just want to point that out.
So you're saying it's more likely they'll go into the win than the loss?
Correct.
Okay. That's an interesting thought. Well, in the case of the word win, the word win does have a gematria of 19 as well, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So. Mm-hmm. Okay, I've always thought that it was. I've always thought that it was very consistent both ways. If a team can get the number going into it, win or lose, that goes with the date numerology. But are you saying this is true for just 19, or for any team going for the number that would correspond with the win and the date numerology?
Yeah, any team that we corresponds with the number and the date numerology.
Okay, and you're saying it's more consistent with wins than losses.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pay attention to that. I've always thought it was pretty even, but I'm going to watch that now. So I appreciate that observation.
Okay, no problem.
All right, thank you. Take care, man. Okie dokie. So something to observe, but speaking of going into the number with the win, the Thunder, again, do have a chance at their 20th away win today on the 20-date numerology. That would keep them at 26 losses. Pacers is 26. Plus, remember that Oklahoma City Thunder is 101. That's the 26th prime number. The Pacers could also get their 26th loss. Let me think. Thunder is 36. This will be the 36th home game for the Pacers. Interesting that it's the 88th game. Pi Day began in the year 88. Does anybody have an 88 connection here? The Oklahoma City Thunder do have a connection to 88, and Pi Day began in 88. So 88th game. The win-loss totals aren't screaming out at me. This is the first game between these teams this year, so they're going to play again. Pacers schedule. So they play again March 27th. That's the 86th day of the year. That game's in Oklahoma City. If Oklahoma City won both games this year, they'd have 52 wins. And what stands out about that is Oklahoma City's 52. They could get the 52nd win in Oklahoma City. And Indiana is also 52. So if they swept them this year, that's what it would be. Nothing is jumping out for me about the Pacers winning this game. The numbers kind of seem to be a one-way street here. So I am favoring the Thunder in this game. Thunder are looking good. Okay, Cavs and Magic. Cavs and Magic. Nothing's jumping out about the date numerology there. It's the Cavaliers' 34th away game. Orlando's 34. Let's see. Things up here real quick. They're not in the same division, are they? All right, not the same division. Okay, 109th game. That's the 29th prime number. The Magic going for their 52nd win. The Cavs going for 58. I feel like Orlando Magic has that connection to 58. Yeah, they do. Doesn't mean it has to come in this game, though. Let's just take a peek at the conference standings here. Orlando at home 18, or in the conference, going for the 22nd win or 21st loss. Cleveland can get its 34th conference loss in Orlando. Orlando's 34 in their 34th away game. There's nothing else there that stands out about this game in the numbers. The only stat on the board that makes any sense to me is the Cavs getting that 34th conference loss in Orlando. I don't see anything else that go with the numbers today. So got to favor the Magic there. Celtics Kings. I see a potential 20th loss on the 20-date numerology. It's the 33rd away game for the Kings. Massachusetts 33. It is the Kings' 67th game. 67 is the 19th prime. That is the one riddle for them, that they could stay at 19 away losses. But I'm thinking the date numerology is going to be more important than that, getting that 20th loss. Let's see what we got here. I'm thinking the Celtics, they got to pick it up after that last loss. Let's see. Celtics going for 185. Basketball is 185. So they played once this year, March 6th. So they played just 8 days ago. Celtics barely won that game in Sacramento. 109. Celtics 69th game. Let's check this real quick. Sacramento Kings. Sacramento Kings. Kings. Well, that would be the upset. So the upset narrative for the Kings. If the Kings upset, they'd keep the Celtics at 24 home wins. Kings is 24. And they'd stay at 19 losses in their 67th game. Let's see who these teams play next. Let's look at the next game real quick. Is there a chance of an upset here? Play the Hawks next. Hawks have that strong connection to 17. Whoops. But hold on. I put in the wrong team. I'm looking at the Kings. Hold on. Hawks and then Nuggets. Hawks, Nuggets. Hawks. That game out with the Nuggets. It's in Denver. Oh. The game is at home. Anti-Hawks. About the Kings, who do they play next? Kings got the 76ers and then the Bulls. Huh. I know 76ers got that connection to 15, but what are the odds of this team winning back-to-back and beating the Celtics and the 76ers? Unlikely, I would say. Yeah. I just feel like the Celtics are going to finish the season strong. So I'm thinking the 20-date numerology is what's going to play in this game. I mean, there is a riddle here for a Kings upset, but I expect the Celtics to have a strong finish to this season. So I'd still favor the Celtics. I think the 20-date numerology is what plays here. Not a lot of other numbers to go off, unfortunately, for that game. Okay, Lakers, Raptors. The Raptors can stay on 20 losses. The Lakers could stay on 20 away losses. Toronto's 36. That was the narrative the Lakers had last game to win so that they could go into Toronto with the 36 losses. Again, Toronto's got 36 Gematria in both ciphers, both reduction ciphers. This game's on TNT. So the doubleheader tonight on TNT is Lakers, Raptors, and Mavericks, Nuggets. I don't know what the riddle is between those teams. I don't know if there's a theme there. LeBron, he played some finals against the Lakers. The Raptors are, how many times has he faced them in the Eastern Conference Finals? Let's see. "45th game. That's the 9th triangular number. Lakers got a shot at that 29th win. That's the big number today. Again, Pi's 29 and 29 date numerology. So the Lakers got beat good at home November 4th. LeBron James 114. See how many days ago that game was. "130 days or a span of 131, which is the 32nd prime." So 32nd prime as well. The Lakers could get their 32nd win of the season. We're going to have to look at what LeBron's record is against the Raptors here. All right, so they got the Raptors, and then they have the Pistons, and then the Knicks. Pistons has that gematria of 31. They lost, they'd go into the Pistons game with 31 wins. Detroit's also 37. So if the Lakers lost this game, they'd be 31 and 37. Pistons 31, Detroit 37. I mean, they'd go into Detroit with the absolute perfect record. That's interesting. If they beat the Pistons, they could get 32, and then if they beat the Knicks, they could get 33 in New York. Let's see who the Raptors play. The Raptors play the Pistons next too. That's weird. Huh, they have the same schedule as the Lakers. Okay. Okay, let's think about that then. I don't see the riddle really with the Raptors record moving forward with the opponents. What's the date numerology of those games? 20, 39, 59 date. 40, 60. Well, if the Lakers lost, they would go into Detroit with a very interesting record. 31 and 37. Again, Pistons 31, Detroit 37. But it is what the standout thing for me is just the fact that the Lakers could get the 29th win today. 29 is the 10th prime. I see Toronto's a 10-point favorite. We also talked about how the last game was a span of 131 days ago, the 32nd prime. If the Raptors lost, it would keep them at 48 against James. Also Cleveland. A lot of big Raptors Cavs games in the past. Okay, let's see what his stats are against the Raptors in the regular season. Whoops, Toronto Huskies. That's not who I want. There we go. He's got 41 wins and 11 losses. This will be his 53rd game. Just double check here. Toronto Raptors is also 71, the 20th prime. The Lakers won, they'd stay on 20 losses on the 20 date against the Toronto Raptors. Lakers is 21. The Raptors could get their 21st loss against the Lakers too. That's another thought. So the Lakers have a narrative of an upset here. They do. The best argument for the Raptors is just staying at 20 losses on the 20 date, but you can make that same argument for the Lakers. And the other thing against the Lakers is if they do lose, they go into Detroit with pretty much a perfect record because, again, Pistons is 31, Detroit's 37. So doesn't mean it'll be that way. But the fact that the Lakers can get the 29th win on this Pi Day, I think that's very interesting. So I see in the comment, somebody says, we all knew about the Warriors Pi Day game, only I didn't. Well, the Warriors didn't play on Pi Day. If the Warriors had played today, I would have been all over them. You know, a few years ago when it was Steph Curry's 29th birthday, I guaranteed he was going to score 29 points in the game, and he did. So I just know that 29 is always big on Pi Day. So anyway, Pi Day's today. The Warriors didn't play on Pi Day. They got the day off this year. But Lakers might upset. Okay, Timberwolves, Jazz. When's Utah going to get that 22nd home win? Utah's 22. '69th game for the Wolves and the 68th for the Jazz. Utah's a big favorite. There's no, well, the date numerology that it's there is the Jazz staying on 29 losses. Again, staying on the number is never as much of a guarantee, but that number is, again, big today. Let's see. The Jazz going for their 83rd win. T-Wolves going for 42. Jazz lead 2-1. The last game at Utah was close. see. These teams aren't in the same division, are they? They are. All right, let's see what the division records are here. And by the way, you guys notice Washington did become 7-7 in their division on the 77th meridian. That number's just so big in DC. Might be something else to journal. Don't doubt the 77s in Washington, D.C. So Minnesota's 5-7. They could become 5-8 in Utah. Utah equals 58. And the Jazz are 6-8. If Minnesota lost, though, they'd be 5-8 in the division after losing in Utah. The one narrative for Minnesota is just keeping the Jazz on 38 wins because Minnesota's 38. But again, when you're already on the number, it's less likely to stay on it. If the Jazz were going for their 38th loss or their 38th win, that would be more likely to hit the 38 against Minnesota. So just based on the division record, because we see how often the opponent, when somebody gets the division record, whether it be win or lose, that matches who they just faced. So Minnesota falling to 5-8 against Utah 58. That's the typical pattern. Okay. And then Mavericks and Nuggets. I see the Nuggets can get that 29th home win. That stands out in a big way. Too bad they're an 11.5-point favorite. That's the number I wanted to see. That would also give them their 45th win on Pi Day. Geometry equals 45. So that game makes a lot of sense. It's the 68th game for the Mavs in Denver. Let's see, are they the same division? No. Just check the conference real quick. Nuggets are at 29 conference wins. Mavericks are 14-26. Double check here. Nuggets. Dallas. Just double check who they play next. Nuggets got the Pacers next. And the Celtics. How about the Mavericks? Cavs and Pelicans. Yeah, they're a big favorite, but I think that 29 will be the number of the day. We'll see if other sports we can find more 29s. And with regards to it being the TNT doubleheader, the only 29s we found were the Lakers potentially going for that 29th series win. So, okay, review NBA real quick. 20-date numerology. Thunder have a chance at the 20th away win. Pacers equals 26. They can stay on 26 losses. Oklahoma City Thunder equals 101, the 26th prime. Pacers can get their 26th loss, stay at 26 home wins. And it's the 88th series match. Oklahoma City Thunder also equals 88. And it's Pi Day. The Pi Day celebration began in the year 88. It's also the year Steph Curry was born, on Pi Day. I don't think I looked at who they play next, just to be extra sure. Thunder got the Warriors next, and then the Heat. I don't see anything that's a big indicator there. How about the Pacers? Nuggets and Trailblazers. Colorado equals 43. If they stayed on 43, they'd face the Colorado team. And Blazers also has the Gematria 43. So I think the Thunder are a good road pick. This Cavs Magic game, we saw that the Cavs could get the 34th conference loss in their 34th away game in Orlando. Orlando 34. There wasn't a lot else out there on the board. Kings and Celtics. Kings can pick up that 20th away loss on the 20-date numerology. The only thing that stands out for the Kings is it's their 67th game, and that's the 19th prime. If they upset, they'd stay at 19 away losses. It doesn't always work out that way. The prime number relationship between the overall games and the away home record, I would say it's probably close to 50-50 on that one. The other potential upset narrative for the Kings is the Celtics staying at 24 wins because Kings is 24. And you know what else? I think Pi is 11 as well. Numbers related to Pi could hit today. Pi is 11, but as I say that, Pi is also 25, so that could go either way. I just favor the Celtics because I really do think the Celtics are going to finish this season strong. And picking up that 20th loss on the 20-date numerology. Again, the date numerology is becoming more consistent in the NBA. Lakers, Raptors, the 20 can go either way. But what the Lakers really have in this game is they have a shot at that 29th series record and on a perfect day to do it. Pi is 29, and we got 29 date numerology. If the Raptors lost, they'd get their 21st loss. Lakers equals 21. The one thing that scares me about the Lakers is their next game's the Detroit Pistons. Pistons 31, Detroit 37. So if they lost, they'd go into Detroit with a perfect record. If they won this game, I'd be suspecting they'll probably go down to Detroit because usually when you see two cities overlap with Gematria, that number hits. Los Angeles and Detroit are both 37. But I think the Lakers do have a decent shot at an upset here. Timberwolves, Jazz. Jazz can stay on 29 losses. We got the 29 date plus it's Pi. Again, when you're already on the number, it's never as good of a riddle. The Jazz could also arguably stay on 38 wins. Minnesota is 38. But yeah, I'd probably just hold on. Did I skip something there? Whoops. I want to check one more thing real quick about that game. All the wrong buttons. Yeah, I'm not crazy about that game. Just the Jazz are such a strange team. But I'm thinking just because 29 is so prevalent and it connects to pi, they'll probably stay on those 29 losses. And then Mavericks Nuggets, again, 29 seems to be the most important number today. The Nuggets got the shot at 29, so I think that's the most likely outcome. They'd also stay on 22 losses. Dallas has that Gematria 22. There's not a lot else screaming out in that game. Okay, let's go over to college basketball real quick. Let's see how many games are going for 20 today. Wow, there's a lot of games. Here, let's just go through all these Division 1 or all Division 1 games today. All right, so some games are already underway. Too late on those. Wow, a lot of games are underway. This game's about to start in 14 minutes. We'll skip that one. It's about to start. Virginia Tech, Florida State, too close of a start. Here, let's go later into the day. Caller?
Hey, Zach, one more thing, just to make sure I'm clear. As far as the teams that can pick up their 20th today, it has to be a clear read. It can't be like a team could get 20 wins and the other team could get 20 losses. I was supposed to stay away from those games.
Well, you don't like it when a certain team can get a 20th win and the other team can get a 20th loss all in the same game?
You know what? I haven't paid attention to that. I mean, we could definitely pay attention to it, after these games. But I only paid attention to if the team could get a 20th win and the other team got nothing to do with 20 or something, anything like that.
Okay, well, like we looked at all the games yesterday, and every single game that had that type of pattern, they all went that way except for one. So I feel that that's a great way to do it.
Which one didn't go that way?
Yesterday, we looked at all the college basketball games.
Because I bet that UAB and that North Carolina AT&T, after you mentioned before you got off the broadcast about paying attention to the 19, so I caught those two games. I put a better hope in. I won.
Yeah, that pattern's been very good. So here, I'm going to run over it here in college basketball and see how many there are today.
Okay, cool.
All right. Thanks, man. Bye. Okay, so Nevada, Boise State, obviously not a good payout, but just right away, Boise State can get that 20th loss on the 20-date numerology. So it's there. Missouri, Auburn. Well, look at what Auburn can do. Auburn can get that 23rd win and get that 23-9 thing. Auburn's also 23. So Auburn, that looks good to me. 23-9. Let's see here. I'm just scanning for the 20s. Memphis. Oh God, not a great payout at all, but it's there. The 20-date numerology. Here's another one. CSU Northridge picking up that 20th loss on the 20-date. Let's keep going. UC Davis, 20th loss, 20-date. San Diego State, 20th win, 20-date. Again, when you're already on the number, it's never as much of a guarantee. It's very possible Colorado advances off that. So this game, it would be a dangerous play. This game would be a dangerous play. Here, just real quick. I just want to see what they've done against Oregon State all time in case they have like some series record that goes with our date numerology. This will be the 21st game. Colorado leads 12-8. So, yeah, I'd probably just ignore that one because you can't be as certain when they're already on the number. I forget how to say this school's name. How did they say it? They had a weird suicide football player supposedly jumped out the window last year before the season began. This school, though, Duquesne. I forget how to say it. However you say it, look at it, though. Going for 20. Lamar, they're on 20. It's always more dangerous. Louisiana going for 20. Something tells me Louisville does stay on 20 against North Carolina. But here, we can just look real quick. '20th game. It's the 20th game as well. So the 20th game, North Carolina probably does keep them at 20. West Virginia can pick up the 20th loss. They had a big win yesterday by the numbers. Again, when the team's already on there, notice in Old Dominican's case, if they lost, they'd become 23-9. You'd get that 23-9 relationship that hits so much. Minnesota can get the 20th win. Ole Miss, Alabama. Again, any of these games where a team's on 20, you guys can dig deeper and see if there's something in the series records that goes with the date numerology. UAB going for 20. The 20 can go both ways here. St. Louis gets 20, Richmond gets 20. And I mean, that's perfect with the date numerology. Yesterday there was one game like that, and that's the way the patterns went too. Syracuse can stay on 20 against Duke. They're a big favorite. That's also obviously likely. Here's an interesting one. This is an interesting one right here because, look, they could stay on 20, which is always a greater risk. But if Utah Valley went down, they'd have that 23-9 thing. Let's just I don't know what this school is, though. UMKC, what are they? Who's the UMC? I don't know who this is. UMC Kangaroos. Where's that at? Kansas City. Okay. Must be University of Missouri, Kansas City. I can't even find that school. Let's see if we can do it another way. Here it is, Missouri, Kansas City. All right, 17th game. So if Utah wins, they get 10. If Kansas City wins, they get 8. 17's the 7th prime. Yeah, this game is interesting though. That 23-9 thing is there. I mean, let's see. Bowling Green, and when you're already on the 20, not as good of a pick. Georgetown can pick up 20 today. Hoyas does equal 19. There was a reason for a team to stay on 19. It could be their case just because Hoyas is 19. But they can get that 20th win. And Seton Hall, so that's where you might want to think about where it could, because I mean, if you pick all these games, there's probably going to be one that doesn't hit. Seton Hall could get their 19th win against the Hoyas as well. Hey, what's up?
What's up, man? Hey, Zach, go back to that. I'm going to show you something that's pretty cool. Go back to that CSU Northridge.
Northridge. Hold on. Northridge. All right. Yeah. Okay. I'm there.
Look at it, Zach, because you're very intelligent like I am. So just look at it. Look how they mock you with the pod. And the other games was like that too. If we would have foreshadowed the games before, a lot of teams walked in with it. No, one team gonna have 22 wins and one team gonna stay on 7 losses. 22 divided by 7, they're gonna mock you with that. On Friday. You see it?
Well, you're just saying UC Santa Barbara gets their 22nd win and CSU Northridge stays at 7 in the conference?
Yep, there you go. See how they do that? 22 divided by 7. Then, if you look at the Maryland game, Maryland walked in, I think, with 22 wins and 7 losses. So they let them walk in with the pod tribute instead of getting it on that day. That's what I was saying. So they mocking you the whole time.
Okay, yeah, those are interesting observations. I see what you're saying.
Yep. So I'm gonna let you finish.
All right.
You gotta look for that.
All right, I appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, thanks, man. All right, but yeah, in college basketball, I think it can be another great day. You pick these games where teams are going for the 20. You just fill up a boulder of them. I mean, I don't know how much you want to bet on each game, but you put down money on the majority of these games where you're going for 20, you're going to win on the vast majority, you know? So let's get back to where we were. And some of these games where teams are on 20, you can give them a closer look. But when you're already on the number, it's dicier. UAB, where was I? There's so many games today. All right, so UAB is another one going for 20. Here, just for kicks, let's look at this Alabama Ole Miss. I want to find one where we can find like a series record that also hits with the date. 129th game. Alabama going for 86. Ole Miss going for 44. Unfortunately, that doesn't. Ole Miss does equal 43, I believe. I think Ole Miss is 43. We used that in a riddle earlier this year. Ole Miss 43. I got that 29 number in their name. But yeah, the ones that are already on 20, I might just shy away from those. Because there's just so many to pick from here for teams going for 20. I think I would just fill up a board with these. Again, oh yeah, this Richmond-St. Louis game, 20 both ways. Okay, we went through some of these games already. These top schools like Duke and North Carolina, I expect them to get it done against, because both of them have opponents that will probably stay on 20. Just because those schools are going places. And again, this game, if you put down a bunch of picks on the teams going for 20, you should win on the most. If you want to take a risk on a game like this, because it's probably a decent payout that this team stays at 20 and makes them 23-9, you know, that could be a nice bonus. And if you lose, it's not the end of the world because you should win on enough bets today. And I'd also look for things like this, teams that can become 23-9, because that's like that prime number relationship that just hits and hits and hits and hits. It's right there again. Mississippi State can go 23-9. Seek out those too. And like I said, this game right here, this might be the game I shy away from on the 20s. I mean, they very well could get it, but Hoyas is 19. They stay on 19. Seton Hall gets 19. That's the kind of pattern breaker that could be out there. So, and let me just make sure that I'm going off memory. Oh, okay, never mind. Hold up. I'm wrong. I thought Hoyas was 19. Oh, I know what it is. I knew they had a connection to 19. Hoyas is 67, the 19th prime. There was some game I recently talked about with the Hoyas in 19 where it hit. I think it was where they got their 19th win. So, but still, even the fact that they have that relationship with 19, that could be the game that doesn't follow the pattern there. So, be careful on that one. Both of these teams can get 20 here, so that makes that tough. Let's see if there's something in the series. Southern Miss. Or what am I doing? 22nd game. They could even it up at 11-11. Pies 11. That would have to be Southern Mississippi winning. If Southern Mississippi won, I see a lot of 11s on the board too. Yeah, this one's iffy because the 20 could go either way, but I'm thinking about Pi Day, Pi 11, evening it up at 11-11, maybe. There's still so many games to choose from with the 20 that you don't even really have to risk it on these ones. And just remember, if a team's already on the number, I'd probably just shy away from those. Yeah, there were, how many games were there to pick from? There were a lot. So I think there's a lot of winners here in college basketball. And I'm tempted to just say, let's skip the NHL today. I just almost want to wait and see because our consistent patterns, they have burned us. They have burned us in a bad way. All right. You guys, I really am going to say let's wait and see on the NHL, but I'm still going to do the decode and just see if things go the way we expect, or at least the way I expect. Because I can't make sense of some of the things that have happened, especially yesterday. Man, yesterday made no sense to me. Okay. Penguins, Sabres. All right. You know what else I just thought about, you guys, with regards to college basketball and 20 being a big number? The teams that are on 20, they also have a little bit of an argument to go for 21 because today's the 73rd day of the year, the 21st prime. So if you want to look at those games also where a team's already on the number, you know, there's a little argument for teams to go from 20 to 21. So again, I'd really just look for the games with the team going into the 20. Okay. Penguins, Sabres. 191st game. That's the 43rd prime. Penguins going for 89. Sabres going for 68. Hello, Sabres. Sabres. Penguins. 39. The next. So the Penguins do equal 39, and Buffalo is in New York. The Penguins could get their 39th win in New York. So there is some rhyme and reason to picking up that 39. Penguins. Nothing really with the Sabres. Sabres play Carolina Hurricanes next. And the Blues. Dang schedule. The Blues and then the Flyers. St. Louis Blues is 39. They could go into that game with 39 wins. Also, if they lost this game, they could pick up the 39th against the St. Louis Blues. So that makes it a little bit iffy. All right, Canadiens Islanders. Canadiens Islanders. Islanders. If the Canadiens won, they'd stay on 26 losses against the Islanders. Islanders 101, the 26th prime. Islanders is also 38, and notice they'd get the 38th win. So their record could make a lot of sense beating the Islanders. New York Islanders. Montreal. They could also stay on 40 wins against the Canadiens. Canadiens 173, the 40th prime. $168th game. Canadiens going for 92nd win. Islanders going for 62nd. Canadiens got the Blackhawks next. The only thing about their next opponent is it's Chicago. Chicago does have the connection to 37. You guys, I'm going to get rid of Sports Gematria because I realized officially that he is a troll. And anyway, he's been helpful in the past, but he made no mistake about it the other day that he's definitely here to troll. And he is just kind of like a negative person, always fighting with people in the chat. So he's a cancer to the community. And good luck to you, Sports Gematria. So anyway, he's gone. But yeah, the one concern for the Canadiens is they could stay on 37 against the next opponent, because next one's Chicago. Let me just double check the points. Chicago Blackhawks. So the Canadiens definitely have the better read for this game. Just the one concern is next game, Chicago. Chicago's 37. I don't think. Here's the rule for S. Blackhawks is also 37. Yeah, just looking at this immediate game, I favor the Canadians, but my one apprehension is the fact that they could stay on 37. I feel like when I'm doing that more often than not, though, when I'm seeing a better read for the immediate game, it's not always. Yeah, it's probably, it could go either way. Just looking at the immediate game, I favor the Canadians, but there's the riddle there for the next game down the road. So try to find a better read here. Capitals Flyers. No number is screaming out about this game. Let me check the Gematria. Capitals. Capitals. I don't see anything there. $218th game. Capitals going for 85. Flyers going for 115. All right. So Flyers is 85, but I mean, it doesn't necessarily, the 85th win doesn't have to be today. If the Flyers won, they would stay on 27 losses. Capitals is 27. Theoretically, the Flyers could also lose in overtime. If you can get the Capitals as a 1.5 point favorite, maybe take the Flyers on the puck line, because there's a good chance they win. And if they lost in overtime, they'd still cover the puck line. And they'd stay at this 27 against the Capitals in that column. And if they did lose, they'd get 7 in overtime. If they lost in overtime, they'd get 77 points. And of course, that's the big number with DC. So that might be a smart bet to take the Flyers on the puck line if they're a 1.5 point dog, which is probably what they are. Okay. Ottawa equals 37. I see the Blues can pick up their 37th win over Ottawa. That's the first thing jumping out here. Senators, I believe, equals 54. They can get their 54th. Or no, they don't. I thought they did. Ottawa. Maybe it's the full name. No, I'm wrong about that. Ottawa Senators do have that 88 connection. Pi Day began in 88. Let's see. '37th game too. So we got another 37 on the board. The Blues going for the 19th win. The Senators going for the 17th all time. Well, that makes things interesting because it's the 37th game and the Senators are going for their 17th win all time. Ottawa does have that connection, but the Blues could just as easily get that 37th win. St. Louis Blues. Yeah, there's no other number that's more time. If the Blues lost in overtime in this game, they could have 80 points. Yeah. The fact that the Senators could get that 17th win in their 37th game makes me nervous about it. It'd be nice to call a Senators upset because that would be a good payout. But the problem is, I mean, it just right on the surface, they can get that 37th win over Ottawa in the 37th game. So I'd see how many point favorite the Blues are. Maybe the Senators are worth a puck line bet, possibly. All right. Red Wings can get their 25th win against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is 25. That would be the ultimate upset right there. Red Wings could also get their 37th loss in Detroit. Detroit's 37. You know what? Pie is 25 as well, for a little bit more reason to believe in the 25 today. Tampa Bay's 25, so it's Pie Day. So that's got potential upset written right on it. Wings. 58th game. Tampa Bay, or the Red Wings going for the 30th win. Ooh, so they're at 29. That's the other big magic number today, 29. They could stay there. And the Red Wings going for 27. Or, I mean, excuse me, Tampa Bay going for 27. Let's think about this. Tampa Bay. Lightning. Lightning. Detroit. Well, the Red Wings would be a great payout, and there is a real chance there. Tampa Bay is 25; they can get that 25th win. Let's see who the Lightning play next, and the Red Wings. The Capitals, Washington Capitals. I should note that if you use the rule for S with Red Wings, it does equal 54, and the Lightning could get their 54th win over the Red Wings, so that is there too. Let's see. Capitals is who they got next. Capitals is 54. So the Lightning's next game is the Capitals. If they lost this one, it would be the perfect opponent to get the 54th win over. So I'd put a little bit more stock in the potential upset there. About the Coyotes. I think the Red Wings are worth a puck line vote. That would be a nice payout. It's very possible. And they could also play them close. You could win even with a close loss. So I'm guessing the Lightning are at least a 2-goal favorite. All right. Stars and Minnesota Wild. There's that 29. Big magic number today. Stars could get the 29th loss. Wild could stay at 29. And these are the teams that swap cities. Hold on, I forgot to see who the Red Wings play next. I just want to look at the Red Wings schedule real quick. We got the Islanders next. Well, the thing about the Red Wings playing the Islanders next, we know that the number that's heavily attached to them is 38, and they got back-to-back New York teams. If they lost both these New York games, they could get lost 38 and 39, assuming they lost tonight. If they lost tonight, they'd get 37. Islanders could dish out 38, Rangers could dish out 39. But I'd still look at what the puck line is. It could be a close game. And again, Tampa Bay 25, Pie 25. The upset narrative is there, and they absolutely happen. Okay, so again, Stars Wild. Here's a game where the Super 29, we got the 29 numerology, Pie's 29. The 29 could really play out here. And it could be the Minnesota North Stars. '74th game. How interesting. One of the teams is at 74 points. So Dallas has 42 wins. Minnesota has 30. Okay. Stars. Or whoops, Dallas Stars. Stars. The Minnesota Wild, they would get their 76 points at home over the city they have history with. But yeah, I'm just thinking that date numerology will likely play. Let's see here, next game. Wild got the Rangers next. Wow. Okay, so the Wild's next game is New York. Well, they got back-to-back games with New York too. Okay, so the thing about that is we know New York's 33, and we just saw New York Rangers is also 76. So the question becomes, do they get the 76 points tonight and head into that game, or do they get the 76 points over the Rangers? So that makes that a little bit more dangerous. And the New York Islanders, 77. Yeah, overtime loss maybe. But the Dallas Stars. Got the Golden Knights and the Canucks. I guess. Vancouver Canucks. Yeah, the date numerology says Wild pull this out, but the fact that their next opponent's New York, and with the win, they could get their 76 points, and the next team has 76 Gematria, it does make this a little more concerning too. So I'd say a little bit too dicey there. All right, Bruins, Jets. Winnipeg is 41. No. Is it Winnipeg? What? I thought Winnipeg was 41. I guess I'm making that up. Winnipeg. All right, I take it back. They're not. Okay. Boston Bruins. Let's see. Bruins. Bruins is 43. Their next win is their 43rd. 83. Let's see. Let's see the schedules here. All right, so the Bruins against Winnipeg, 63rd game. Bruins lead 36-24. 36-24. Let's see what they play here. Blue Jackets, Islanders. Got Columbus next. The Columbus has that connection to 25. Columbus. Jackets. Blue Jackets has the Gematria 71, the 20th prime. If they got past the Jets, they could pick up their 20th loss maybe against the Blue Jackets. This Blue Jackets. Something else was just dawning on me looking at this now more carefully. It's the Bruins' 71st game of the year. 71 is the 20th prime. They could potentially get that 20th loss in their 71st game. Let me see who went and plays next. Calgary. Calgary's got the 41 connection, I think. Calgary's 41. And then they play LA, who's also got the 41 connection. Calgary, how do those points work out? Games. I'm not crazy about it. The date numerology says the Bruins do lose this game. Again, 20-date numerology, 71st game, the 20th prime. If the Jets win this one, they do go into Calgary with 41 wins. Calgary's 41. And then they play LA, another 41 team. So, yeah, I wish there was something more there that went with the I guess Winnipeg can get their 25th win, and it is the Pi connection. They'd stay at 25 losses on Pi 2. So I'd favor the Jets. I'm not crazy about it, but I think they do have the better narrative in light of the date numerology being there. And again, the 20th loss also making sense because it's the 71st game. All right, Ducks, Coyotes. Ducks, I believe, equals 77. Ducks is 77. So Coyotes can get the 77th points. That's the first thing jumping out. (133rd game). The Ducks have 75 wins. Coyotes at 52. I don't think either of that goes. Double check. Ducks. Arizona Coyotes is 75. They're at 75. Let's see. Ducks got Colorado tomorrow. Avalanche. Avalanche have that connection to 67. If the Ducks lost this one, they'd have a chance at their 67th points over the Avalanche. And they got the Florida Panthers. I guess that is something else to consider. If the Ducks won this game, they'd have 67 points going into the Avalanche game. And if they won that, they could get their 69th as well. So that's there. But just the fact that Ducks is 77, I'm favoring the Coyotes right now. Let's see who they play. Edmonton Oilers and then Tampa Bay Lightning. If the Coyotes won this game, they'd have a shot at their 37th win over Edmonton. Edmonton's got that 37 connection. Edmonton 37. Oilers. So 78. And Tampa Bay. Yeah, the 77th point seems to be the most likely outcome here because Ducks is 77. In recent days, those patterns haven't been working out, but historically, they've been good. What's up, man?
Hey, I think we got a low-hanging fruit. You want to look up Billy Donovan's record for everybody real quick?
What?
You want to look up Billy Donovan's record for everybody with the Oklahoma City game, even though you picked Oklahoma City, right?
Yeah, that was the road game I liked in the NBA.
Yeah, that's really low-hanging fruit if you look at Billy Donovan's loss record for us. So you might want to play that heavy. I'm not trying to jinx this. So.
The coach record?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Hold up. Pulling it up right now. Okay. I see that he comes in with 314 games, the pi number. And going for 193 or lost 123.
But who they play Saturday?
I have to look. Thunder schedule, I forget. The Warriors. So you're thinking Warriors 122 on the 122nd Meridian?
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah. That makes some sense. So
We got it right last time, Zach. With I ain't want to jinx us with the 11-9.
Right. Yeah. All right. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a great observation. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Take care, man. Okay. Coming back to NHL. Just those 77th points over the Ducks. That seems to be the best riddle on the board. And gives the Coyotes a chance to get their 37th win over Edmonton, their next game. Kings Predators. Okay, so Nashville. Nashville's a team that has that 102 numbers, the 102nd NHL season. Let's think about it. Predators. Nashville Predators, 83, the 23rd prime. That's not there. Nashville. Angeles Kings. This is how we called the Predators last game. Them coming into this game with 83 points against the Kings. That was one game that worked out in recent days as expected. Let's see. '73rd game on the 73rd day of the year. Predators have 35 wins. Kings have 34. They could tie it up at 35. Rarely do I see these head-to-head matchups get tied, though. Predators schedule. They got the Sharks next. San Jose. San Jose has that 83 connection, too. So that's the thing. If the Predators won tonight, it would give them a chance to get their 41st win over the Sharks, their next game. If they lost tonight, you could also make the argument that they could get upset again tonight. San Jose's 83. They could go in there with 83 points as well. They got Toronto next after the Sharks. So is there anything that could make sense about that matchup? Maple Leafs. Okay, how about the Kings schedule? You got the Florida Panthers and then the Winnipeg Jets next. Two teams with 38 connections. If the Kings lost tonight, they'd be at 37. The next team's the Florida Panthers, the team with the double 38 connection. Florida 38, Panthers 38. And then they got Winnipeg, another team with a 38 connection. Winnipeg Jets. If Los Angeles loses tonight, they get their 37th at home loss in LA. Go back and look at this. The Kings would stay at 25 wins on the Pi day as well. Pi has that connection to 25. I think it makes more sense for the Predators to win because, again, that gives them the opportunity to get their 41st win in the next game over a 41 opponent. And then it also gives the Kings an opportunity to get their 38th loss against a very 38 opponent. So just looking at the next games, got to favor the Predators there. All right, Sharks, Panthers. I think San Jose is 43. They're at 43 losses. Okay, San Jose is 43. They could get their 20th loss. They'd be 43 and 20. San Jose is 43 and 20, and we got this 20-date numerology. So that's something that's jumping out. Sharks. They'd also stay at 43 wins against Florida. Florida's 43, and Panthers is 43. So a good team to stay on 43 against as well. And then the date numerology's there. It is the 71st game for the Sharks as well, the 20th prime number. It's also the it's the 70th for the Panthers. So yeah, I think there's an upset narrative there for the Panthers. Okay. 36th game. Panthers going for the 15th win. Sharks are going for 15 as well. They're tied at 14 right now. So there's a series that's tied up. But yeah, I think the Panthers have a decent chance at an upset here. Let's look at who they play next. They got the Kings next and then the Ducks. If they could win this game and beat the Kings, they'd have a chance at their 33rd win against Anaheim. Maybe put a little win streak together on a road trip. Let's see how far they are into this road trip right now. It's California teams. All right, so this is the first game of this road trip. 3 games in California. Okay, let's see. Actually, here, I just want to see what the Panthers road record is real quick. (12-15), not too bad. Okay. See the Sharks schedule real quick. Sharks got Nashville next. Predators. Check that out one more time. Predators 44. If they lost this game, they could rebound and get the Predators, and the next one pick up their 44th. Yeah, I think the Panthers got a real chance at an upset there. I mean, the problem is we've had the games that have gone sideways in the NHL the last few days, whatever it's been, 3 out of the last 4 days, something like that. All the games that have gone sideways have been the games that we've been very consistent with for going on 2 months before that. So I am in a somewhat state of NHL shock right now, if you will, and it makes me really kind of just want to sit out and watch to see if these picks go as expected tonight, to see if just the last few days have been, I don't know, something out of the normal, or are we getting into some different type of scripting because, again, it's the end of the NHL season. But things we looked at today, this game's in New York. Penguins equals 39. They could get their 39th win in New York. We looked at the games down the road, and the Sabres or the Penguins? Yeah, that's what it was. The Penguins' next game is against the St. Louis Blues, which also equals 39. So the question becomes, do they get that 39th win tonight in New York, or do they got to hold off one more game and get it against the 39 opponent? So it makes it iffy there. Canadiens, Islanders. Islanders equals 38. Can get the 38th win for the Canadiens over the Islanders. Islanders also equals 101, the 26th prime. Canadiens can stay at 26 losses. Canadiens equals 173, the 40th prime. So Canadiens have the good head-to-head series record. I think it was, I know that looking at the next game, the Islanders had the Red Wings. Must have been the Canadiens schedule. Canadiens, yeah, that was it. The Canadiens' next game's against Chicago, the Blackhawks, and that the one thing that's about that is Chicago equals 37. Blackhawks, the rule with S is also 37. So if the Canadiens lost, they'd go into Chicago with the perfect win amount. But this immediate head-to-head game does look good for the Canadiens. Only question becomes, what about the next game? So slight question mark there. Capitals, Flyers. If the Flyers, what I said I would do in this game is I would take the Flyers on the puck line because I imagine they're a 1.5 point underdog. And the reason why is because Capitals equals 27 with a Flyers win. They stay at 27 losses. with a loss in overtime or a shootout, they also stay at 27, and that would win the bet. So I think Flyers puck line bet, as long as they're a 1.5 point dog, might be worth a go. Blues Senators. This is the 37th game between these teams. Ottawa equals 37. If Ottawa wins, they get their 17th series win. Ottawa equals 17 and 37. So a chance of the Senators upsets absolutely there. The problem is with that 37, the Blues can also get their 37th win. They are the heavy favorite against the Senators, who are one of the league's worst teams. Depending on how many points you can get on the puck line, Senators could be worth a go. They might very well lose, but it might be a close game. There's also the chance that they get that 17th series win in the 37th game in light of both of those numbers connecting to Ottawa, where the game is. Red Wings, another potential upset tonight. Tampa Bay equals 25. Pie equals 25. It's Pie Day. That would be the big upset, and they are a major underdog. We did point out that Red Wings has the connection to 54, and the Lightning's next game is the Capitals. Capitals is also 54. So if they got upset tonight, their next opponent is perfect for 54. Capitals. There are some potential upsets that are worth a go tonight. Red Wings could shock. Stars and Wild. Whoops. This game was it was iffy. We were looking down the road and humming and hawing. The date numerology is there, though. It's 29 date numerology. Wild, if they win, stay at 29 losses. They would give the Stars their 29th loss as long as they beat them in regulation. Again, Pi equals 29 to go with the date numerology. So I got to give the Wild the edge. Looking down the road made it more suspicious the way things could go. I believe it was the Dallas Stars schedule. Or no, it must have been the Minnesota Wild schedule. That's right. So Minnesota has New York next, and New York is 33. They have back-to-back games with New York. So it just makes you go, could they stay on 33 wins? The way the Wild could stay on 33 wins and 29 losses today is with an overtime loss, shootout loss. So yeah, that's just what scares me about that game. 29 is a big number today, but just the fact that their next two games are against New York, it worries me. Bruins and Jets. Wasn't crazy about this game. The Jets' next game is against Calgary. Calgary's 41, and then they have LA, another 41. Notice the Jets' next win is 41. So, again, it's one of those questions. Sometimes we see the team walk in with that total. Sometimes we see them get it. What I'd like to see happen here is the Jets lose, because then I think they have a good shot to get 41 over Calgary. They very well could get it tonight, though, because the thing about the Bruins is the date numerology is there. The Bruins could get the 20th loss on the 20 date. If I had to pick this game tonight, I would pick the Jets to win just because of the 20 date numerology and the fact that pi equals 25. I'm just thinking the pi day riddle might matter, but the 20 date numerology is there. Jets could go in with 41 wins against Calgary. They could very easily lose that game, stay at 41, and then have to look and see what it is against LA when that game comes up. Coyotes, Ducks. Ducks, they're going for that 29th win on the 29 date. But the Coyotes are going for the 77th points, and Ducks is 77. So, and look at what the schedule was ahead. That's right. Coyotes got Edmonton for their next game. If the Coyotes won tonight, they'd get 36, and then Edmonton is 37. So they'd get the 77th points over the Ducks and be in good shape for that 37th win over the Oilers. But that date numerology is right there for the Ducks. They could get 29. So again, that makes that game definitely dicey. The Predators game. They got the Sharks next, another 41 opponent. If the Predators win tonight, then they can get 41 over the Sharks. And that would also keep the Kings at 25 wins on the Pi Day connection, where Pi's 25. So I would favor the Predators there. They're a substantial favorite, though, even though they're on the road, so not a great game. But I imagine they get 40 to set them up for 41 in the next. And then right here with the Sharks, they can get the 20th loss on the 20 date. That would keep them at 43 wins. Florida and Panthers both equal 43. So, and the Sharks' next game is against the Predators, if I remember right. Oh, actually, I guess that's a contradiction of what I was thinking, isn't it? That's a contradiction. Okay, I'm glad I thought that through again. Because the thing I pointed out about the Predators is they have that Gematria 44. So Sharks could very well get that 44th win over the Predators. But them staying at 43 tonight against Florida makes sense. Florida 43, Panthers 43, the 20th loss on the 20 date. Yeah, you know what? I'd probably stay away from this Predators-Kings game because now that I'm realizing the way that could line up, maybe the Predators are in store for a little losing streak. San Jose does have the Gematria of 83. So does Los Angeles Kings. If the Predators lost tonight, they'd stay on 83 points. And then if they lost to the Sharks, they'd stay on 83 again. So maybe that's how it is. Maybe it's going to be a tough California road trip for them. So, yeah, maybe that's how it's going to be. I do think the Panthers are a decent upset pick tonight. You can just do that faster. I think the upset picks might be worth the risk tonight. Do puck lines, Senators, Red Wings, they could get it done. They got a shot. The Red Wings would be the real payout. But I think college basketball is really where it's at today. So, okay, let's do the final review real quick. NBA, it's limited Thursday. The Thunder, we have 20-date numerology. Pacers equals 26. They can get that 20 in the away win column. They can stay at 26 losses. Pacers 26. Oklahoma City Thunder's 101, which is the 26 prime. Pacers can get a 26 loss and stay at 26 home wins. The caller pointed out earlier that the coach of the Thunder, he comes in with 314 games on Pi Day. That could be a little bit of an indicator. And then if he wins, he stays at 122 losses. The next game's against Golden State. Golden State equals 122 for the Thunder. Of course, Oakland's on the 122nd meridian, so it could be a little tell. I'm not crazy about coach records, but the date numerology and the opponent matchup is here to favor the Thunder, in my opinion. Cavs Magic. The Cavs can get their 34th conference loss in Orlando. Orlando 34. Kings Celtics. There's a read that can go either way here. It's the 67th game for the Kings. 67 is the 19th prime. The word king, the singular, is also 67. I guess Kings also 41, huh? I should think about that. So that's the read for the Kings. Do they stay at 19 away losses in their 67th game? It's possible. It's also very possible they pick up their 19th loss on the 19-date numerology. And just my thought about the Celtics from the beginning of the season, I just expect them to finish strong here in the regular season. Losing a game at home against the Kings, that would be suspect at this point in the year. They gotta win games like this, and because of that, I'm favoring the Celtics, going with the overall season theme. Lakers, Raptors. The Lakers' next game's against the Detroit Pistons. Detroit equals 37, Pistons equals 31. They could very well go in there with a 31-37 record. However, Lakers equals 21. The Raptors could get their 21st loss. It's also the 29-date numerology, and pi equals 29. If the Lakers win this game, they get their 29th series win. And I'm just thinking that that's a very, very possible upset. So if I was going to bet on this game, I might take the points for the Lakers. It's hard to say what I just feel like they got to have LeBron have some kind of better conclusion to this season. They got 15 games left. LeBron has not missed the playoffs since his second season of his NBA career. If you go back and look, LeBron won 35 games his first season. King James 35. He won 42 his second. LeBron James 42. But he has not missed the playoffs since his second year in the NBA. This will be his third time if you missed. The Lakers will have to finish real strong to get it done. And just in light of LeBron's history against the Raptors, I mean, this is a team that he's had some really dominant performances against. Remember, Toronto equals 36 as well. LeBron just scored 36 points in the last game to keep the Lakers at 36 losses. I'm just wondering if LeBron comes out and has some amazing game. The Lakers still have a prayer at making the playoffs. They'd have to play real well, though. Then again, they're supposedly monitoring LeBron's minutes, and a lot of their guys are on the shelf. So it's not looking likely. All right, Timberwolves, Jazz. Not crazy about this game, not at all. Minnesota equals 38. There's a chance at an upset for the Timberwolves over the Jazz. But again, we see a lot of teams pick up the 39 against the Timberwolves as well. And remember, Minneapolis Timberwolves is 93. Minnesota Timberwolves is 93. Minneapolis, Minnesota is 93. The reflection of 39. So, I just don't like the Jazz games. They seem to be an unpredictable team. The Nuggets, they can get that 29th win today on Pi Day, that big magic number. I think that's quite likely. Dallas, Texas does equal 28 if they were going to stay there. But staying on 22 losses against Dallas makes sense as well because Dallas has the 22 connection. So it's not a great payout. But that 29, it just seems like it's a magic number today. So the Jazz could also stay on 29 losses. Should be noted. But where it's at today, again, is college basketball. What I would do is it's just like it's an Easter egg hunt. I would just go through these games, and we covered this earlier. Some of them are already underway. Every game where a team can pick up a 19th win or a 19th loss, I'd ignore the games, or not 19, excuse me, 20. Every game where a team can pick up a 20th win or a 20th loss, like we talked about Boise State earlier. I don't know if you already jumped on that. I would put something down on it. I'd say, okay, I'm putting money on the board there like it's a roulette wheel. Okay, West Virginia can get the 20th loss. I'm on it. I'm putting chips there. Everywhere. These games where teams are already at 20, it's a dicey shot. I doubt Duke or North Carolina get beat today, and both of their opponents would stay at 20. But most of these 20 games I'd stay away from. Oh, hold on. I need the Division I games so we can see just how many there are. So go to ESPN, go to Division I, and just start looking every game where a 20 can hit. And I would just put the chips down there. Yesterday, every game that had that pattern, all but one hit. And again, this is what it is over and over in college basketball. When you get a date where there's a lot of games and a date numerology pattern lines up, it smashes. Villanova did the 23-9 thing. That's the other thing I would look for, 23-9, because that's always a good combo. Okay. So I don't know if you got your Boise State chips in earlier when we talked about it, but that game's underway. It's not like it would have been a great payout, but it's there. So again, Memphis can pick up 20. And just make sure it can't go both ways. UC Davis can get their 20th loss. San Diego State can get their 20th win. This game, a team can stay on 20. Those are more dangerous. I just skipped those ones. This school I can't pronounce, Duquesne, I can't ever remember how to say it. They can get their 20th. Louisiana can get 20. I think this is where it's at today. West Virginia can pick up the 20th loss. Marquette can go 23-9. That 23-9 is deadly. Old Dominican can go 23-9. I'd think about these ones. I'd think about them. Minnesota can get the 20th win. UAB can get 20. St. Louis can get the 20th win and Richmond the 20th loss. Duke can keep Syracuse at 20. Again, it's never as strong of a combo, but I just don't see Duke or North Carolina going down. Kansas has a chance to get upset. 23-9. I mean, that pairing is something else. Doesn't happen every time, but it happens a lot. Utah Valley, here's another one with a 23-9 possibility. That would keep UMKC at 20 losses. Maybe if I was going to bet on that game, I'd just take the points here because you get 9.5 points too. They're a big underdog. Mississippi State can do the 23-9 thing. This Georgetown-Seton Hall game, it's the one to be wary of. Georgetown can get 20, but again, Hoyas equals 67, the 19th prime. That 19 was just a big riddle in their 19th win. So that one I'd be wary of because Seton Hall can get the 19th win over the Hoyas. Very possible Georgetown wins the game, but that's just where I could see the pattern being broken because of the Gematria. This game is a 19 both ways. So, you know, maybe just leave that one alone. Or excuse me, 20 both ways is what I meant. Both of them are already on 19. And yeah, so anyway, that's a lot of games to choose from. And I mean, that the date numerology in college basketball has been absolutely great. So I'd go heavy on the college basketball 20 thing. And then NHL. Again, NHL, just to review it one more time. A lot of iffy games today. Penguins can get that 39th win in New York. Penguins equals 39, New York 39, but their next game is the St. Louis Blues. St. Louis Blues equals 39. We saw the San Jose Sharks pick up their 39th win and then face the St. Louis Blues, go into them with 39 wins. Penguins could do the same thing. Again, Islanders 38. Islanders 101, the 26th prime. If the Canadiens win, they're 38 and 26. Canadiens 173, the 40th prime. They could keep the Islanders right there. But the problem was looking at the next game. The Canadiens play a very 37 opponent next game. If they lost, they'd stay at 37, so it makes it a little dangerous. On the surface, though, Canadiens got the better riddle. I'd take the Flyers on a puck line as a 1.5-point underdog just because I think this 27 stays. Capitals 27. it stays there with a win or an overtime loss. Again, Senators could be worth a puck line bet. Ottawa does equal 37. Very possible Blues get that 37th win over Ottawa. But I have a feeling the Senators will play this game close, even have a chance at the upset because it's the 37th series match and they're going for the 17th win. Ottawa's 37 and 17. This could be the upset of the day right here. Tampa Bay 25, Pie 25, Pie Day. If the Lightning lose, their next opponent has 54 Gematria too. They could get the 54th win over the Capitals in the next game. And Stars Wild, the Wild's next two games are against New York. New York's 33. So it makes me think, well, the Wild, could they stay at 33? But the thing is, we have the 29 date numerology. Wild could stay at 29 losses. Stars could get the 29th loss. Date numerology says Wild wins this. Looking at the future games makes it questionable. The Winnipeg Jets, their next game is against Calgary. Calgary's 41, LA 41. Notice their upcoming wins, they're 41st. They couldn't get it today and face Calgary with 41 again. The Bruins could get the 20th loss on the 20 date, but it's just, I hate when you can make riddles both ways. Date numerology has been pretty good in the NHL. So, I mean, I guess I'd have to favor the Jets, but just the fact that their next opponent's 41, I wonder if they might have to wait one more game to get that. This game, 29 date numerology, Ducks can get 29th win. Ducks also equals 77. Coyotes can get 77 points. If the Coyotes win, their next opponent has 37 Gematria. So if they got here, they'd get 36. Their next game, they could get 37. Again, date numerology. Date numerology has been trumping Team Gematria at about a 2/3 ratio. So the Ducks, I'd have to take it on the surface, but just the fact that the Coyotes next game, again, it's too iffy. This is why I do college basketball today. Predators face the Los Angeles Kings. Los Angeles Kings is 83. If they lose, they stay at 83 points. Their next game, San Jose. San Jose is also 83. It's possible they could lose this game to the Kings and go in against the San Jose Sharks with 83. Predators equals 44. Sharks' next win could be over the Predators, number 44. If they lose today, they get the 20th loss on the 20 date, and they stay at 43 wins. Florida equals 43, Panthers 43. So today, my gambling strategy, I'm going college basketball, and I'm betting on every game, literally, where a team can get the 20th win or 20th loss. You know, you could just do a bunch of small bets if you want, or you know, you can see which ones are the best payouts. But if you just lay down a field of that, it's like knowing how the roulette wheel's rigged, and you're going to hit the majority of them. The one I'd watch out for is the Hoyas Seton Hall game. That's the only one where I might lay off. In the NHL, God, the NHL's been burning us some recent days. It's been so good overwhelmingly, but the last few days, the patterns have not been persisting. I might just wait and see in the NHL, even though there's some decent reads today. Maybe if you're feeling it, you know, put some money down on the Red Wings because it's a good payout. I'd definitely take the puck line, though. But, yeah, I just want to see if the picks go the way I expect in the NHL, just to get up. Because after the last few days, I've lost my NHL confidence, which was sky high prior. And then in the NBA, I'm not real crazy about NBA games today. If the Thunder are a decent payout, I mean, there are some decent reads. I suspect it'll be Thunder, Magic. Celtics Kings could be an upset, but I mean, my intuition says Celtics win because they got to finish strong. If the Lakers are a good payout, they might be worth a pick just to upset. But again, if they lose, they have the perfect record going into Detroit. And the Jazz are just such a weird team, and the Nuggets have even been weird lately too. So I really think college basketball is where it's at today. Rob Jennings still likes Montreal for the Cup. I'll be amazed if a Canadian team's not in the Stanley Cup this year. Montreal very well could be the team. Well, Carl, That wasn't true what you just said. I don't know if you're here trolling. You look like you might be a troll, honestly, but the majority of them weren't favorites, actually. If you just follow the 20 pattern, just like yesterday, like I said about 19, if you followed the 19 pattern, you won in every game except for one. So I imagine it'll be the same thing today. College basketball been very consistent with date numerology. Again, look for the games where the team can get the 20th win or loss. If a team's already on 20, I would skip those. Just like yesterday, teams that came in with 19, a lot of them advanced to the 20th win. But if a team can pick up the 20th win or loss today, those are the ones I'd zero in on. Just make sure it can't go both ways. There's some games where teams already both have 19 wins. And just watch out for the Hoyas Seton Hall game. That's the one that I think is most likely to break the pattern. Dakota says Detroit has lost 14 straight versus Tampa Bay, so we know the word end equals 14. We see a lot of streaks end at 14, so that's a great observation. Thank you, Dakota. And somebody said check out John's blog real quick. For some reason, I don't. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh yeah, John's been doing the work on Philadelphia in this year. He's done a lot of great work on that. Talk about this more tomorrow. But today, college basketball, I really think that's where the smartest picks are. It's been extremely consistent with the date numerology and the outcomes. So we'll leave it there. We'll be back tomorrow, same time. Appreciate all of you. And in the NHL, there's a real upset narrative there, possibly with Tampa Bay and the Red Wings. All right. Until next time.